So how old were you where you were like, I can't take this no more. I need to
Oh
quit
man,
running?
my mom. Oh my God, I used to be so upset and mad because I hated that. And then she named me Guadalupe, which is the angel's name. It's my middle name. But she would always tell me, and I understand now. You know, you were stillborn and you were pronounced dead. So your grandmother and I prayed to God, and one of the promises I made was, if you come back to life, your name will be Jesus. I'll pierce your ear, which I don't know what that was about. She pierced my ear and let my hair grow out long, and then she made me burlap robes until I was 5 years old. So she kept her promise to the Lord. So that was very embarrassing, going to school with burlap robes on, you know, in the kindergarten, just people picking at you, you're Jesus, walk on water. And everybody named Jesus, their nickname is Jesse. So
That's how that worked out.
yeah, that's how that
I
worked
know
out.
you were like, I don't understand what is going on at that age, but I guess looking back now, using your faith, like, you have a different perspective on it now, right?
Yeah, so my son always tells me I'm the real Jesse Raudales, and he is, because that's his birthday. That's on his birth certificate. And I had to copyright the name Jesse Raudales because people were stealing my art and then selling it, and, so.
How did that feel?
Well, whenever somebody steals your art, it's supposed to be a compliment. It felt bad because I'm like, wow, they're selling my art like in Walmart and all these places and Target, and I always Google myself every couple of weeks, and if I can stop somebody, then I can. I'll send them a letter of to stop. And if they're out of the country, I don't have a trademark rights out of the country, so that I have to chalk it up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, kind of talk to me about, I guess, this piece right here. What kind of inspired the colors, everything behind it?
So this piece, there's a gala coming up in October, and Maryland, Maryland Latino United is the group. They're having a gala, and they asked me would Samantha Howard, who is the Hispanic liaison in Prince George's County, for also Brooks County Executive Office of Brooks. So she asked me to create some pieces for that gala as a centerpiece. So of course I did Santa Mayor, since she's one of our most famous Latinos and has one of the highest positions in the United States. And I like to always add bright colors and just to give you the feeling of joy and happiness. So.
And what about this piece right here?
No, wait, let me switch it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna block your camera a little
That's
bit.
fine. That's good. That's good.
Okay.
You say get the camera in the shot.
Yeah.
And let me know when you're ready.
All right, ready.
All right. So this is called Skull Princess, and in the Hispanic or Latin culture, they always have Day of the Dead, where we don't feel sad about somebody passing away. We celebrate their life, and that's what Day of the Dead is. So this is one of the Day of the Dead pieces that I created. So I try to do, every time I do one, somebody buys it. So.
And so how do you want people to, I guess, feel connected to your Latino heritage through this? Especially someone who may not really understand.
Right, yeah, that's why I try to explain to them that we're celebrating the life of the person that while they were here. It's not anything about any witchcraft or anything like that. It's just celebrating their life. That's what Day of the Dead is to us, to the Hispanic culture. So it's basically you're just celebrating someone's life that passed away that used to be.
And is that the reason for a lot of the bright colors and different things like that?
Yes, yeah. Back in the day when it was first started, people would paint their faces like people from the day that had died. So with a lot of skulls, a lot of flowers, a lot of hearts, a lot of colors.
I got a question. I mean, I hear you speak about your mother. It's not lost on me that all these are women. I know you say you paint a lot of stuff, but tell me about how your mother influenced your art.
My mom, she was like a MacGyver. She will, like, for instance, my mom, she's old school. One of her favorite knives broke, so she puts duct tape on it and still uses it, and then it bends again and she'll put duct tape. So I've always looked at her like, wow, she's always used whatever resources she's had and, to live and to give us a better life. So, like me, people ask me, where do you get your brushes from or your paint? I'm like 99 cent store. Or I'll go to, Family Dollar, pick up some paint. Walmart's one of my favorite places because it's not the quality of the paintbrush or the paint, it's the person that's creating the pieces. So I guess it's kind of like my mom, you know, I don't need expensive stuff to create something beautiful.
And what about this thing now?
Oh, Frida. She's one of my favorite artists, like, or probably the only artist that I really like. I'm a fan of hers. She went through a lot of pain and trauma throughout her life, and she continued to paint. So I paint her all the time. Yeah.
And how does that kind of really inspire you, especially if you're probably going through difficult times? Is there times where you just don't feel like painting, but you still do it, or?
I always tell people that art is like my girlfriend. You know, it's like if we break up, like I'll stop painting, and then you know I have an urge to paint, or somebody contacts me, or there's something that needs to be done, or there's an event or an occurrence, you know, that happens, and I have to, you know, get up and paint. I have to get up and create that piece for that moment. So, yeah.
And I guess this one, well, I guess these two as well. We can talk about these, but let's focus on Kamala Harris.
Okay. So I want to get that right. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris, sorry.
Kamala. Look, because it's not my fiance's. So she told me, Kamala.
Kamala.
That's how they do in our merchandise. It's just a comma and
Yeah, I do
That's
it too.
actually
I got some that I sell too on my t-shirts on my website. I got the comma and then the la.
Yeah.
Kamala.
Alright, we're ready.
So I know you guys are hoping to present this to her in the next coming weeks or months, but just kind of talk to me about what inspired this, and how did you feel painting it and knowing that we're leading up to this kind of historic moment now?
Yes. Kamala. I had to get that right. Change. You know, I'm just a big advocate for change, and we need change. We don't want to go back to how it was. And she's just a big inspiration to everybody. And, you know, it inspired me to create this piece and create my own. So, you know, I wanted to showcase the colors. And I know she's an AKA, so I added that green shirt in there and added some of the colors. So, yeah, I'm just a big fan of hers. And I'm happy and hoping and willing, hopefully willing, she will become our next president. And, you know, it's just exciting to know that she may get this piece.
And just, I guess, people kind of stray away from political pieces and, you know, thoughts and all that stuff. But just as someone who's made history in the Latino community and then being able to connect with someone who's hoping to make change in the U.S., how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel really good. And another point that she has made is she's biracial. My son is biracial. So that means a lot to me. We're not like I said, we're not going back. And the United States is a big melting pot. And I don't, you know, I paint current events. So whatever's happening right now, I'm not going to shy away from it. You know, I'm going to create it. I'm going to try to capture the moment so it can tell a story. My art can tell a story, but I'm no longer here. Somebody may look online or come see the artwork at a museum, some of my artwork at a museum and say, wow, what happened? And then they can, you know, look at the story behind the piece and understand what I was thinking and what I was feeling and going through when I was painting it.
How long did it take you to put this together?
This one,
I know you said you're a speed
I'm a
artist.
speed artist, so it doesn't take me a couple of weeks. Like if I jump on something like this, it'll take me a couple of hours. It just depends. Now, if I'm using oil paint, then I have to wait for the paint, you know, because it takes a long time to dry. But I usually work with mixed media, which is what all of these pieces are. And yeah, just a couple of hours, maybe 1 or 2 hours.
So mixed media, what exactly is that?
Well, when I was in school, they would, you know, I had professors who used to try to tell me, that's not how you paint. You have to just sketch and use, you know, ink. You can't mix it with acrylic, or you can't mix it with watercolor, or you can't mix it with oil paint. And I'm like, I'm a creator. You can't tell me how to paint or how to create something. So with this, it's a mixture of sketching it out with pencil first, and then using ink, and then acrylics. That's what most of these are.
Do you think that's what kind of makes or adds to the uniqueness of your art?
Yeah, because I don't follow the rules and I still create something that people happen to like. So yeah, I think there is a uniqueness there. I also use Photoshop sometimes. You know, I learn how to paint and create in Photoshop. So I have pieces that I've created in Photoshop. So.
And I know you mentioned that you don't like when people do that or like use AI.
Well,
so
yeah.
I guess how do you? I guess would you, if you can just kind of emphasize the fact that you're able to incorporate like the technology, but also like your hard work and dedication behind it to really combine both worlds of us like moving into technology.
Right. So when I was young, I knew that I had to learn Photoshop because I'm also a graphic artist. So AI is different because that's actually just a program that you, an app that you type in what you want and it creates. With Photoshop, I actually paint and draw in there and sketch and scan. So I'm actually working on a piece, and then I have to have it, printed out. But technology is very important. I just don't like the cheat. It's kind of cheating. It's like, a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old can come in and use the same app that whoever the artist thinks they are, and type in whatever they want. They can type in, I want Kamala Harris standing on the moon, and then it'll print it out. And then it's good if you say, hey, I use an AI app, but when artists are putting their name on it and saying, I did this, I created this, that's an insult to all artists, so.
And we could just talk about this last piece right here. What inspired this? What's the reason behind this one?
This is also going in the gala with the Latino pieces in October. So this is the main piece, and it's called The Most Beautiful, or La Más Hermosa. And I just wanted, since it's going to be the centerpiece, I wanted to, just add a Latina in there, that was dancing freely and enjoying life and just feeling blessed. So as you can see here, I added texture, put in, I bought these from the 99-cent store and stuck them up here to kind of add texture. And I like to add texture to the dresses and the hair. So when you see my pieces, it's not just flat. You can say, wow, it looks like real hair here. I want to touch it.
And with these pieces going into the event for Latino Heritage Month next month, I guess, what do you want people to really connect with, feel, and as they're looking at all of these pieces?
Just someone that's prideful in their Hispanic heritage, and somebody that is feeling blessed and wants to share, his gift with everyone else in the community, and hopefully encourage other young artists to, to do the same.
All right, cool.
Perfect. That was so good.
I'm just gonna get some B-roll.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, get some B-roll.